Hi, I'm Robbie Meyer, the winemaker for Murrieta as well, and today we're talking about the 2019 vintage of the Spur. The Spur is our kind of survey of the property. It's a blend that we're going to different vineyard blocks around the property to kind of get the most of the entire elevation changes that we have here, the different soil types. So the 2019 vintage in the Livermore Valley was really a wonderful vintage for us. We had a full and complete growing season. There was no threat of rain late in the season that sometimes does exist in wine country, but we're able to get optimal ripeness on all our varietals, and it really shows through in the wine with the fully developed fruit expression that we have. Of course, here in the Livermore Valley, we have a wonderful balanced climate where it's not too terribly hot. We're able to maintain a little bit of restraint and nuance to all of our varietals, where we have some earthen tones to it, some fresh earth qualities to the aromatics as well, which is really wonderful. But the 2019 vintage allowed us to get all of those expressions, so we're very, very pleased with that. You know, over 130 years of farming, the people who have come before me have really found the optimal areas of the property to plant the correct varietal. So up on our Sacow Hill, we might have our Cabernet Sauvignon that grows up there, and it does beautifully up there. But we also grow Cabernet Sauvignon down on the gravelly arroyo. What's wonderful about that is it gives us two unique expressions of Cabernet Sauvignon that we'll make individually. We farm individually, and then I can blend them together to have a more nuanced expression of just the Cabernet Sauvignon. Then you add in something like the Merlot. The Merlot grows on these wonderful, just slightly clay soils that Merlot in particular as a varietal responds really well to those conditions, so we get the optimal expression of Merlot. Again, produce that as an individual varietal, as we do with all the components of this wine, and it's not till the end of the aging process that we'll come back and blend them together to really get the expression that we're looking for out of this blend. This valley runs east and west. It opens to the west to the San Francisco Bay, and we get this wonderful marine influence that goes directly into the Livermore Valley. These evening winds come in, clear out the warm weather from the day, and really help the vines recuperate and maintain their natural acidities that exist in the grapes. We don't want it hot 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The winds that come in do present a really unique situation. At the end of the valley, it fades into the ultimate pass. You know, wind machines up there because there is such a wonderful airflow that goes through this area. When it comes to the Spur, what makes it unique? Well, what makes it unique is it comes from our property, from our vineyards that we're farming, and wines that we produce. That's what makes it different from the bottle next to it. It's grown here in the Livermore Valley at our estate. The Cabernet Sauvignon, the Merlot, our old clonal material that was brought in to this property 130 years ago. So this wine is special because it's from our estate. That's really what makes it unique. So when we're farming here at Murrieta as well, we always like to say that we farm acre by acre. And what does that mean exactly? Well, we grow, say, Cabernet Sauvignon on different parts of the property. And we want to respect where that Cabernet Sauvignon is grown. So we might have a block down at the gravelly arroyo, and we're going to treat the canopy management, the irrigation systems, everything unique for that single acre of Cabernet Sauvignon. And that might be different than, say, an acre that's grown up on Sacow Hill. So that's really a philosophy that we maintain, and we're going to continue that as we bring it into the winery. We're going to produce those vineyard blocks as individual wines throughout the aging process, and it's really not till the end of that aging process that we sit down and blend these wines together. That's when we'll see what the expression is of the Cabernet Sauvignon. How much Merlot do you blend into that to make it more complete? Then adding in, of course, the Petit Verdot and the Petit Syrah. So the 2019 Spur has just amazing fruit expression. You know, if you've been a fan of the Spur for many, many years, you may have noticed that in the more recent past, we've continued to utilize the Cabernet Sauvignon in a little bit higher composition in the blend. And what is that doing? It ultimately makes it a more sophisticated wine. We have that just wonderful ripe cassis quality that the Cabernet Sauvignon offers, along maybe with a little bit of a blueberry type of component to it. We're then going to take the Merlot for its wonderful red fruit expression that offers maybe even a black cherry or cherry. But then you have also the gravity of the Petit Verdot, maybe even offer some floral components there from the Petit Verdot. But all in all, a very, very complete wine that just has wonderful ripeness and fruit expression to it. It just has wonderful texture. It's very approachable in its entry, but once it gets on the palate, you really get a sense of its weight and density to the wine. It just really makes you want to go for another sip. So when it comes to the 2019 Spur, and we think about food pairing capabilities, it's so broad. Because of this composition, having the Merlot, the Malbec, the Cabernet Sauvignon, Petit Syrah, Petit Verdot, it really broadens that out, so you can pair it with so many different things. Of course, we can go with wonderful, grilled vegetables, grilled meats, but it goes great with pastas, red sauces, pizza. It really has endless food pairing capabilities. It's a wonderful, wonderful wine for that regard. We couldn't be happier with the wines we have here at Murrieta as well. To learn more about us, please visit us at murrietaswell.com.